5 minutes past 8 here on 101.5. That was 1979 from the Smashing Pumpkins, and Swamp, I've been claiming them as Moreton Bay's own, right? You know, Moreton Bay's own band, Smashing Pumpkins. Billy Corgan was going out with Jess from the Veronicas. Of course, the Veronicas from Albany Creek, but they've broken up, so I can't do it anymore. You know, I love a obscure link to the Moreton Bay region.
Any link that you can find.
One of the finest bands associated with the Moreton Bay region, Smashing Pumpkins, but no longer. Anyway, we'll move on because it's Sports Fever time, and don't we love Thursday mornings?
Yeah, an absolutely monster week of sport too, Matty. We had our mighty Redcliffe Dolphins put an absolute hurting on the Tweed Heads at the weekend, and some Olympic selections to get through later on this morning. If I run through them very quickly, 2 in the hockey arena this week. The first was through already 2-time, now 3-time Olympian Liam de Young. Grew up in Bray Park. Played hockey for the Pine Rivers St Andrews Juniors, and a wonderful servant of the Kookaburras. He is a over 250 game veteran and earned his 3rd Olympic berth this week. And wonderful news, and I do believe a certain person on this radio show, I won't name names, tipped it a couple of weeks ago, but Wamuran's Jodie Schultz got the news on Sunday. We found out a little bit later in the week that she was off to London for her debut Olympics, and a wonderful news there for Jodie and the Schultz family, and for the Moreton Bay region.
We'd chalk that one up as a Sports Fever scoop. Declared.
Yes,
exclusively.
declared. Yes, absolutely. I think Jodie had a little bit more to do with it than the Sports Fever bump, but it helped her along, I'm sure.
A very talented player, Jodie Schultz, and very exciting now. I was already excited about the Olympics, Swamp, but now I'm even more excited.
We've got a wonderful representation from the Moreton Bay region heading over there, and Jodie Schultz and Mel Gorman, Emma Jackson, Jess Shipper, Kylie Palmer. So I tell you what, if you already needed an excuse to watch it, there's definitely no excuse to miss it now. There's some wonderful athletes from the Moreton Bay region that will be over there competing, and definitely worth tuning in to watch.
Yep, no, I can't wait for the Olympics. How many days? We're down to counting days. Do we have a day count? We'll check that out.
I think it's under 50 at the moment, so it's not far away at all.
Yep. Now, we had a golf tournament last week. Swamp, where was the tip? You'd started off, you tipped Bubba, in the Masters. Where was the tip for Webb Simpson? Is that right?
Webb Simpson, yeah. He's a young, up-and-coming American golfer, and I had the pleasure of watching him at the President's Cup in Melbourne last year. But look, at absolutely punishing course, the Olympic there for the US Open, a real war of attrition there for the golfers to be winning a golf tournament at one over for these guys, when you consider that last year Rory McIlroy was sitting at 14 under after one round. It's a massive turnaround, and it was a sort of a survival of the fittest who could hang in there and not make too many mistakes. And look, he fought it out, held his nerve, and had a couple of nervous moments there watching both Graham McDonald and Jim Furyk see if they could make those putts to force a playoff. But nevertheless, Webb prevailed, and I think that's our ninth first-time winner of a major in the last 9 major tournaments for golf. So a real swing around, and of course we had Tiger lurk there for a few days, but the Olympic doesn't have the nickname of the Graveyard of Champions for no reason. There's been plenty of golfers, including the man that Tiger seems to be chasing, and Jack Nicklaus, that have lost their nerve there, and it's all gone pear-shaped. But a wonderful thing there for Webb, and well done. What
do we got next? What's the next one? The big one?
You stumped me, mate. I think we almost come around to the British Open later in the year.
It must be the British is the next one. So, well, we'll put it on you now, Swamp. You've let the listeners down this time around.
I'll have to study the form guide. Plenty of distance out.
We want a better result this time. Now, 9 minutes past 8, we might play a song, and we'll get Jodie on the line. What do you reckon?
Absolutely.
12 minutes past 8 here on 101.5. You're listening to Sports Fever with Matthew and Swampy. And we had CeeLo Green with Forget You, but someone that we definitely won't forget here in the Moreton Bay region is local hockey star, and she's Olympics bound. She's off to London. Jodie Schultz is joining us on the line. Good morning to you, Jodie.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Jodie, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the line this morning. First of all, a massive congratulations from the Moreton Bay region on your selection in the Hockey Roos. Of course, the news officially coming out on Tuesday that you're in that 16-player squad. What was I know you found out a little bit earlier. What was the reaction, and where were you when you found out the news?
Oh, yeah, I was just over the moon. I was at home with my family in Wham, and I found out Sunday morning, so we had a 48-hour grace period where we couldn't tell people, so that's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to hold from people. I was just ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. I was very excited.
Now, of course, you flew back to Perth earlier this week to get into some pretty intense trainings and meetings, I imagine. Has it all sort of sunk in yet that you'll be on a plane to London in a couple of weeks' time?
No, I don't think it has. I'm just still so excited. Yeah, I flew back to Perth a day ago, and we start back into a very hard training block for 3.5 weeks tomorrow. So I think it will sink in tomorrow when everything starts.
Now, it's been an absolute whirlwind journey for you through to not only to be in the Hockeyroos side, but to earning this Olympic selection. It's taken about 18 months, and it all began with a wonderful 2-goal debut against Argentina in a Four Nations final back in 2011, I believe, or 2010, I'm not entirely sure. From that 2-goal debut, could you ever have pictured that you'd be on the plane to the London Olympics in 2012?
No, I couldn't. I'm just so grateful for every opportunity and every game I get to play. And I played my 50th game for Australia in the London Cup, and I'm just so happy. And I've come so far, and I'm really proud of my achievements. I couldn't see this happening, and I'm just really happy.
You're one of a number of Olympic debutants in the squad, but the Hockeyroos have really been on a big improve in the last sort of 12 months or so under Adam Cummins. You guys definitely think you've got what it takes to be back up on that medal podium in London? Yeah,
I really think we can. We're capable of achieving a medal. We've just improved so much, and in the last 18 months in particular, there was pretty much nearly a whole team change, other than probably about 6 or so other players. So yeah, it's pretty much just been a whole team change, and we definitely have what it takes. And if we keep improving the way we've improved in the last 12 months and get everyone going in the right direction this next 4 weeks, I really think we're capable of winning a medal at London.
And who are the countries to beat in London, Jody? Who are the big names in women's hockey at the moment?
Big names will be Argentina and Holland. We've got Argentina in our pool, so they're going to be very tough. Obviously, there's Germany in our pool too. So, we've got a very tough pool, but we're capable of winning.
Now, of course, it all began back at the Wamuran Hockey Club, as I believe as an under-6 player, and Mum and Dad are still very much involved in the club. Have you had a chance to have a chat to any of your old friends or coaches from the Wamuran Hockey Club there, who I'm sure are absolutely over the moon with your selection?
Yeah, I have actually had an opportunity to catch up from some people from Wam, and yeah, they're really proud of me, and I really appreciate everything that they've done for me as a junior, and even through my whole career.
Now, there's a whole lot of things that go along with the Olympics other than just the competition. Is there any one thing that you're looking forward to the most over in London?
I think just the whole experience of it. Obviously I'm really looking forward to getting out on that pitch and playing in that stadium. I had the opportunity to play on the Olympic pitch during London Cup, and it was just amazing setup, and I'm just really looking forward to getting out there and obviously getting inside the village and things like that, and just the whole experience I'm looking forward to.
It's a bit of a different pitch that they've got over there in London. I believe it's a blue turf, and you're using a yellow coloured ball, which is a little bit different to what hockey normally has. Is that the ones that you play your practice matches over in the London Cup there on?
We actually use a white ball. Yeah, it's a blue pitch with a bright pink outskirt, so it looks fantastic. We'll be using a yellow ball, but that's nothing new for us. We've been training with that for about 12 months now. So yeah, it's going to look really great on TV.
Yeah, it'll look fantastic, and we'll all be watching here. We're very proud at SportsFeva, and right around the Moreton Bay region. We'll have to organise a ticker tape parade through Wamuran when you get home. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. And Jody, thanks for joining us on SportsFeva this morning.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers, Jody.
Swampy, another one off the production line from the Moreton Bay region.
Yeah, she's an absolute superstar, is Jody Schultz, and if we just run by her incredible rise for entering the Hockeyroos, it was in that 2011 Four Nations finals against Argentina. She got thrown in to the cauldron really in the dying moments of the game, and scored 2 goals from her signature drag flick as a debutant in a final in the dying minutes. There's not too many more pressure cookers that you throw a first time player in, but Jody delivered. She worked to earn her spot, and then that came again later last year when she was actually named captain of the Hockeyroos for a couple of games against China while regular captain Madonna Blythe was injured. So a lot of faith shown in Jody there, and in her ability and her leadership to captain the side. And it didn't phase her at all. She still picked up a couple of goals in that in the games that she was captain, and look, it's all come to that perfect conclusion with her being selected for London. So I dare say, watch out for those. Definitely want to tune in for the Hockey Roos, because Jodie will be there in action. She plays as a defender, but it's her drag flick shot that's earned her that spot in the side, and she'll be scoring plenty of goals.
That is what has got her in that side, isn't it, Swamp? Like, she's not old by any stretch, but she kind of was just around the mark. Wasn't, the national team looked to have passed her probably by, and she's reinvented herself, that drag flick. I think the story goes she had the cement back at the farm at Wamuran and practiced, and it was a new dimension she added to her game. It's a very difficult shot to perfect, and Jodie's worked through it, and she's on her way to London.
Yeah, it's a very technical shot, that drag flick, and for those who don't watch a lot of hockey, it's when they have a penalty corner. The pass will usually come to Jodie. There'll be a few moves or decoys set up, and then Jodie will deliver the shot at goal with that drag flick. It's an incredibly powerful shot, really hard to defend, and it took Jodie a lot of time, a lot of different styles of drag flick, but she just worked and worked and worked at it, and really made herself an essential inclusion in that side, because if the Hockey Roos are going to be putting balls in the back of the net, plenty of them are going to have to come from the stick of Jodie Schultz.
I think she's going to win as a gold medal.
He's called it.
I've called it. I just had a vision there. I sat back. It's going to be 1-1 in the gold medal game. The drag flick gets us a goal to go ahead. 2-1.
I like it.
I've just seen it. I don't know where it come from, Swamp. I've just seen it. A vision.
Now, we must give a big shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Schultz. I was assured that Mr. Schultz is a big listener of SportsFeva and definitely loves hearing. He heard the bump that we gave Jodie a couple of weeks ago and is looking forward to hearing Jodie this morning. So a big congratulations and well done to the Schultzes out at Wamuran there. She'll be very, very proud, as should all of the Moreton Bay region of Jodie.
Another one in Tullawong, I think she went to as
well. Tullawong and St. Columban's College. Yep. She was won a hockey premiership with St. Columban's College there.
We can tell you that's one each. So that's,
there you go.
We'll split it down the middle, Swamp. There we go. It's 20 minutes past 8. You're listening to SportsFeva with Matthew and Swampy. Flowrider with a whistle. It's 28 minutes past 8 here on 101.5. You're listening to SportsFeva with Matthew and Swampy. It wouldn't be a Thursday morning if we didn't talk some Dolphins news. And joining us on the line is the flying winger from the Redcliffe Dolphins. Geez, it's exciting to watch, Swamp. But we're talking to Delroy Berryman. Good morning to you.
Morning, Cesar.
Delroy, it's been a wonderful start to the season for yourself and the Dolphins, mates, and an inclusion into the Dolphins side a couple of rounds into the season. If we take things back to the start of the year, I know you had a massive pre-season, mate, but take us through the preparations and the things that you added to your game and your physical state as well on that pre-season.
Yeah, well, on the off-season last year, I tried to put a bit of size on and a bit of strength, and which I did, which took me into the pre-season pretty fit, and as you would know, at Dolphins, the pre-season is pretty full on, so no doubt you're going to get fit. So yeah, you just take each session as it comes, and I guess you end up where you are now.
And take us for those listeners that mightn't be aware of your career to date, Delroy. Take us back through. You're a New Zealand boy. We did see you in the Dolphins cult side a couple of years ago. Then I believe you spent some time at Penrith and you're back at Dolphin Oval now.
Yeah, well, I started. I think I was 17 when I moved over, and I actually just playing in the under-18s. I played one game and I got the call up from the Colts coach. So from there, I guess it just kicked on, and played 08 Colts. We lost the semi that year. But then I got a little baby, so I went and moved home for a year and did the father thing. Then went to Penrith in 2010, sorry, and had a pretty good year there in the 20s, and now back at Reddy.
And we're glad to see you back, Delroy. Who were some of those players in that Colts team at Redcliffe you played with that year?
We had a few. We had Matty Hancock, Tommy Butterfield, Boxer, Adam Ma, David Huller was in that Colts team as well. So we had a few boys there that are still playing now. So
it was a wonderful debut for you at Dolphin Oval in the Queensland Cup side, Delroy, and I believe it was the Channel 9 game, and you picked up a couple of pretty impressive tries.
Meaty.
Could you have picked could you have scheduled your debut in the Queensland Cup side any better, mate?
No. I actually debuted last year against Rockhampton, but that Ipswich game was my first game this year, so I could take that as a debut, scoring 3 tries. So I'll take that on the head.
And always good for the TV games to get the tries too, Delroy, isn't it? For the everyone around Queensland can see how good you're going.
Yeah, it's a bit of exposure on that, on Channel 9. So you try to play your best every week. Try to play your best, but those TV9, Channel 9 games, the games you want to stand out in.
Now, is there any friendly bets at the moment with you and fellow winger Liam Georgetown? You're both scoring plenty of tries this year. I think Lummies might have kicked away a few clear on you, but is there a friendly bet happening or not?
Oh, not really. Every week he just tells me to step my game up. Catch up.
And now, well, speaking, I believe it's Ladies' Day at Dolphin Oval this Sunday, and the mail around is that Lummy is going to produce the pink boots. Are we going to see anything similar from you, or you're just going to stick to the black or white ones?
I have got something on the card, so I don't think it'll be as pink as Lummy's boots, but there'll be a bit of pink in them.
I tell you what, watching those boots flash down the sidelines has been one of my favourite things.
So. Yeah, I hope so.
Delroy, it's been a wonderful season for the Dolphins so far, in an incredibly strong position, and no more so than the weekend where we saw you absolutely put the hurt on Tweed Heads, and it didn't look like a 2v3 clash. You guys really did skip away with that game. What's been the key for the boys this year in being so strong?
I just think, all the boys are gelling well together, and even any player that steps up, not one player's out of place. So, and he trains us good, we prepare good, and everyone knows the system, so we just stick to that, and we just prepare well through the week and gets us going. Certainly
not to be underestimated, the players that have come in and out of that Dolphin side over the year. And of course, losing Dave Harler and Dane Gagai, 2 wonderful players, and of course Nick Sliney and Luke Capewell been in and out as well. But every player has delivered now. Of course, Central Capras this weekend. What's the 3rd game in a row at Dolphin Oval? Pretty happy to get a few in a row back at the other home turf.
Yeah, just to be home. We can't take anything away from the Capras. They're big boys. They're one of the biggest forward packs in the comp. So, if our boys can match up with that, I think, on a dry pitch, we'll go good that day.
Yeah, looking forward to it Sunday from 3 p.m. at that Queensland Cup clash. Delroy, the thing we notice probably about this Dolphins team, particularly this year, we've seen some great attacking play, some good defence, but you seem a very tight-knit group. Yeah, that's it. Well, we're all still pretty young. So, with a lot of youth across the field, we've got a few old blokes like the likes of Isaac Armel, Chris Faz, a captain. But with that, you can't say anything about their age. Everyone's just gelling well and, clicking well together. And we've seen you on the wing and a bit of fullback. Do you have a preferred position, Delroy, or just happy to get in that top 17? Just being that 17 playing each week. I actually hated playing on the wing, to be honest. But now I'm quite loving it, so scoring some tries, so I can't complain. We're loving seeing you there on the wing as well. We hope you get a couple of tries on the weekend, and we'll be cheering you on from the hills on Dolphin Oval. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for your time this morning, Delroy, and best of luck for Sunday. Cheers. Cheers, Delroy. Thanks, bye. One of the most exciting wingers in the Queensland Cup, Swampy, Delroy Berryman.
Yeah, really enjoyed watching Delroy go about his footy this year, Matty. He's he didn't debut this year, but sort of really caught the attention of...
first game this year.
First game for this year, caught the attention. And look, he really hasn't looked back. I don't think I've seen too many bad games from him, full stop. And, whenever you see those bright yellow and red boots start flashing down the sideline, there's a pretty good chance that the Dolphins are in. And he sees this opportunity with both hands. I think he put on about 10 kilos in that pre-season, which was to bulk himself up and get ready for that Queensland Cup, and earned his place and kept it there, and has become a real key part of that Queensland Cup side for the Dolphins.
And we were at Dolphin Oval on Sunday just gone, Swamp. Now, I don't care what you'll see some of the best rugby league tries at any level. If you head along to the Dolphins website, the highlights package is on their website. Just some amazing tries, kicks ahead, chips, flick passes. Admittedly, it's the type of football when it clicks, it's pretty. It can go wrong, don't get me wrong, but it went all right on Sunday, and it was amazing.
My word, it did. And look, the Dolphins boys have just got it absolutely turned on at the moment, and no more so than one of the tries there. I think the movement was started by Nick Sliney, broke the line, got an offload to Maury Kennedy, who very quickly flicked it on to one of our favourites in Joe Bond, who made a break and saw that he was about to get tackled, dropped it on the outside of his right boot and kicked it, this big looping, swerving kick straight onto the chest of the other winger there, Liam Georgetown, through to the try. And I know we were sitting right in front of that, and people were on their feet at Dolphin Oval cheering at it. And that was the best of a string of exceptionally good tries in that lead up too. And they're just playing such wonderful football at the moment, and it's such entertaining stuff. And like I said to Delroy just before, it didn't look like a 2v3 clash there at the weekend, which it was. The Dolphins, apart from the first 15 minutes where it was a little bit sloppy, took the game away for the rest of the first half and really never looked like they were going to lose it.
No, great to watch. And news through the week as well, Swamp. We've got a road trip coming up for all the Dolphins fans, and it's still, I guess, a local game as such, but Country Week, which is the 14th of July in the Queensland Cup, all the teams at the start of the year that had home games said, look, the Queensland QRL said, look, we want to take some games to the country, find a country town with, a link to your club. I know the Dolphins had sourced out Roma, of course, some links there through Artie Beatson and the Cherry brothers, Wally Fulton Smith, but they've decided just to go up the road, really, to Kilcoy, and lots of links, of course. Bunny Pierce, Dave Moffat, Les Clark, all from the Kilcoy district have been fine players for the Dolphins over, the last 40 to 50 years, and 14th of July, they'll be at Kilcoy, all three grades versus Sunshine Coast, so looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it should be really, really good to take the game out to Kilcoy there. Plenty of rugby league players, and great to see the against the Sunshine Coast boys as well, because they'll have plenty of supporters in those Kilcoy ranks as well. So I heard a rumour that it may have just been Cowboys saying they didn't want to quite drive all the way to Redcliffe, so perhaps they could pitch it just down the road at Kilcoy.
Against the traffic from Lamerand, yeah. No, that might have been the plan from old Cowboy. So looking forward to that one. And of course, we did mention it's Ladies' Day at Dolphin Oval this Sunday, so get there in your... I think the Dolphins will be playing in their pink jersey, Liam Georgetown in his pink boots. Delroy Berryman said he's got a surprise for us, and I know you can buy some pink Dolphins supporter caps as well, so looking forward to that one. And also congratulations goes to Tyson Cleal and Mackenzie Reid, who both made the Queensland Maroons 18 side, so that's a great honour for those two guys as well. So plenty of news out of Dolphin Oval this week, Swamp. Yeah,
absolutely, and I think Mackenzie Reid a key part of the correct me if I'm wrong, matey, the Malmaninga side that almost made the
both Tyson, who of course is Grant Crusher Cleal, the CEO there at the Dolphins, his son, and Mackenzie Reid, both members of that Malmaninga team, and have both pushed their way into that Colts team as well. So very talented players, and all looking good for the Dolphins with their depth there right through all the grades. Of course, the Colts and Fogs A grade had massive wins on the weekend as well. So if you like to see tries, get along to Dolphin Oval, because the Dolphins, no matter what grade at the moment, can certainly score a meat pie.
Absolutely. And we just talked very quickly, Matty, on the fact of how that depth with the Dolphins is there this year. And we've seen players like Luke Capewell and Nick Sliney come in and out. We've seen the loss of Dave Harler and Dane Gagai through injury, and of course Dane being signed to the Newcastle Knights. But it doesn't look like players of that calibre have been taken out of the side. Whoever's been called up into the Queensland Cup side, whoever's been called up into the A grade to replace players that are called into the Queensland Cup have just absolutely delivered time and time again, and it's great to see that depth there at Dolphin Oval.
Well, get along and watch the A grade side. There's some players I'm pretty sure would make most other Queensland Cup sides. We've mentioned a few times on the show before, Dave Famita, who hasn't been able to crack that Queensland Cup side yet, but he scored 4 tries on the weekend. He's in massive form, and that team also includes Mickey Roberts, Mitch Rivet, who played a couple of games for the Broncos only a few years ago. So Tim Yee, one of the most talented players at Dolphin Oval as well. So like we said, amazing depth there at the Dolphins this season.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And John Kennedy as well, who started as the halfback for the season with the Queensland Cup side, awful knee injury, and unfortunately opened the door to probably the Queensland Cup best player at the moment, Luke Capewell, and then you'd be hard to press to push him out of a jersey. But another wonderful player there that just would make any other Queensland Cup side, but just can't crack it.
Yep, no, he's John and Murray, and great story by you too, Swamp.
Cheers.
Yep, so you want to give the listeners a real quick background on... you were telling me the story the other day about the twins. One was, take it away.
Well, of course, Maury and John Kennedy twins out there at Dolphin Oval, and played all of their rugby league at Manly. Awful stuff for Maury when he was only 15 years of age. Broke his neck and was out of the game for about 3 years, although according to him he was never not coming back. In the meantime, John progressed with his own career, was playing a bit of Toyota Cup with St George. A charity touch football game was on, and John was scheduled to play in that, being a Toyota Cup player, and unfortunately was on the comeback for injury, so was asked to not front up. Till the St George coach saw a player running around there that looked very much like John Kennedy, and phoned him and said, "Mate, what are you doing out there? You're supposed to be on the sidelines, you're injured." He said, "Mate, that's not me, that's my brother." John had asked Maury to fill in, only just after he'd made his comeback from the broken neck. The coach said, "Well, that's fantastic. How about you bring him in on Monday and we can have a chat to him?" So, wonderful story there, a mistaken identity that led to and they both played a bit of Toyota Cup for St George. Signed with the rugby union for a couple of years, played some ARU sevens for the Australian side, but wanted to come back to rugby league, and sent a highlights video up to Crusher, I do believe was the process. Came up, had a tour in the off season, and thought this was a wonderful place to start their rugby league careers again, and both have really impressed. Unfortunately for John, that knee injury opened the door to Luke Capewell, but Maury has been getting better each week, I think, and really starting to click some of those steps and flick passes that he's so good at. Have started to hit their marks and stick, and John is just really biding his time there, and he could play anywhere in that back line, but I think they sort of like him as a halfback, and he's a more than able replacement for when I can't think that a NRL call-up for Luke Capewell could be too far away, unfortunately, but look, he'll definitely be able to slot in there should he be required. But a wonderful story, those two boys, and living at Rothwell at the moment, and definitely part of the Dolphins' plans the next couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. Very exciting players. It's 18 minutes to 9. You're listening to SportsFeva. Time now for a word from our sponsors. San Cisco with awkward, and it's always very awkward when we talk footy tipping, and we have a footy tipping comp, and we have the worst tipster in Australia come on to give tips. I hope no one follows these, like goes to the TAB after they listen to Mooney, because they'd be on their way to the poorhouse. Mooney, what's going on?
Come on, guys. Last week's round was up and down. Like, I thought it was 7 games, and the guy tipping against me, we went 50-50 on every game. He just got 4 of the 50, and I got 3 of the 50. So where are we going?
Oh, I don't know. I'd give you one thing. You're very consistent. You're consistently bad.
Nah, come on. That's not true. It's the clubs, mate. I went down because I stuck loyal to Parramatta. I should have punted, and at least when I don't back them, the weight of me are not on their back, so they can win.
I tell you what, Matty, it must take a New South Welshman to tip a Queenslander like Jonathan Thurston to have 2 ordinary games in a row. Yeah. Surely.
Yeah. He's a bit back to earth this week, Mooney, wasn't he? He was unbearable last week, so it's good to have you back to earth a little bit, Mooney, but we'll see how you go this week. You're up against Ray, and I've had a look at Ray's tips. I reckon he's going to be hard to beat. But anyway,
come on, this is me you're talking to. No one's hard to beat when you're back like me. I'm so consistent.
Consistent there. Well, let's see how we go. Rightio. Dragons versus the Titans.
Dragons, mate, I'm not going to get off the Titans. I think they're running into a bit of form. I think Birdie's performing well. Another definitely man and match, 3rd state of origin for Blues to go 3-2 and win a series for a change.
I think you're just breaking up there, Mooney. Yeah, I can't hear you. Yeah, the line just went silent there for a moment, mate. They'll put you on warning. I can easily switch your phone line off and you're gone. I'm just putting you on warning.
Thanks, mate. You don't have a beep button to cut out all those swear words like Blues at Bird.
Yeah, that's it. Righto, Broncos versus the Rabbits.
Mate, I backed the Broncos last week, and they got a smacking in the last 15 minutes, really, because it was neck and neck right through by the Cowboys, and I'm going to stay with the Bronx. I think the Bronx have got some really good young kids coming through their ranks, and I know the Rabbits have been in form, but I'm going to back the Bronx to get back for Petro for his 300 games, mate. I think that's a pinnacle of the year. I think they'll put it together for Petro.
Big Petro, Moreton Bay's own. Petro SimNasiva celebrating his 300th game. Now the Cowboys take on the Raiders in North Queensland.
Yeah, mate, the Raiders are just, they're a bit like Parramatta at the moment. They are just dismal. And I can't see the Cowboys after last week's performance against the Bronx, and considering it's at home, I think Jonathan and the boys will give them a the Raiders a singed tail hair up there and send them back home on the first plane.
He's bagged him last week, Swamp. Now he's just first name Jonathan, like he's his best mate of all time. You're unbelievable, Shane Moon. Now, the Battle of the West, the Penny Panthers take on the Parramatta Eels.
Mate, I always back Parramatta against the Panthers, and they always lose, so I'm going to back Panthers so Parramatta can win.
All right, there's method to the madness. Righto, we'll mark you down there. Now, the Bulldogs take on the Storm. How does anyone beat this Melbourne Storm team?
Mate, I don't know. They lost against Cronulla. I don't know how they did that, but I know they've got the best fullback in the world out at the moment, but they've still got the best hooker and the best 7. So the best 9 and 7 in the world at the moment, the way things are going. I can't see Melbourne getting beat, mate. Even the Doggies, even though they're playing good footy, I just can't see them getting over the top of the Storm.
The Roosters take on the Sea Eagles.
Mate, Sea Eagles are in the same boat. They were very unlucky last week against Melbourne. They stuck it to them pretty well for the first half and run out of steam. And, mate, Roosters are too hot and cold. I think Manly's a little bit more consistent, and I hate it. A good Parramatta boy back in Manly. Geez, don't tell anyone I've done that, eh?
We'll put it on podcast, and I'm going to tell everyone. We're going to sell you out. So, and now finally, the Knights versus the Tigers. Can Bennett produce something for the poor old Knights?
No. Put it bluntly, no. I think they're in struggle street, mate. I think Benji and the boys in the Tigers are doing well, and I was a bit disappointed they lost last week, considering Robbie Farah and his situation, and hopefully Robbie will come back and lead the way for him with Benji, and I'll knock him over.
Now, Mooney, there's only one game deciding it this week, and I tell you what, you want to hope your Gold Coast boys and your New South Wales boy Greg Bird can deliver the goods, because we've got Ray has phoned in with his tips, and he's only gone different on you in the very first game of the week. He likes the Dragons to get over the Titans, so look, your fortunes do rest with Greg Bird and the Titans.
Mate, I back Birdie all the way. He's a good footy, and mate, I think the Titans are doing well. I think Surly and the boys should have a good back half into the year, hopefully.
Now, Mooney, before we move on to some local stuff, as a New South Welshman, tell me, who are you most afraid of seeing in the number 1 jersey for Queensland? There's plenty of talk about who should be in there, but who do New South Wales want least in the number 1 jersey?
Mate, I reckon if Slater's out, you've got English come in and you're not going to lose anything. I think there's a lot of good wingers and centres running around, and I would actually be terrified to see English put in that jersey. If Slater's out, I'd love to see Benny Barber. I don't think he's got the same explosion and the same impact on a game as English. English, with that free rein, you look what he does at South. He would terrify the boots off me, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's maybe the smartest thing you've ever said in this segment ever. I totally agree with you, Mooney. Mark this day down, the 21st of June. I've agreed with something you've said. I think Inglis, probably, he could tear New South Wales to shreds from fullback. So
absolutely. Big, strong, powerful, quick. Mate, behind that maroon pack, it's a little bit better than the South Sydney pack, I'd say, but not much, but a little bit better. I think English would be absolutely terrifying.
Of course, they had a little bit of a campaign to get Matty Bowen in there too, but I think... I think
had his day, mate.
Had his day. There we go. Phone up North Queensland. Sack him. Now to local rugby league, Mooney, and 2 local clashes in the Sunshine Coast Gympie Rugby League this weekend, including a Warragul's home game on Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to getting out there to Bernie Foley Oval. Mate,
I think it'll be good. The Warragul's guys, they're struggling. They're outclassed, but they haven't turned up their toes. There's been a few games that have been forfeited in first end reserves in some of the games this year, but the Warrigal boys, mate, they keep turning up, they keep trying, they keep improving little bits of their game. They just can't put it all together. And when they do, I think they will see their first win, and hopefully it would come this Sunday, because they're just that little bit better than they were last week. Of course, against Noosa, and I believe it's an afternoon kickoff on Sunday afternoon. Is that right? 3 o'clock. Yep. 1:30 is our powerful 18s. They're on fire. They're just out of the 4. And they are going to be a force to be reckoned with come the back end of the year as well.
Yeah, a bit of a hiccup last week for the 18s, but they are a red-hot chance to be playing finals footy come September, so we're definitely keeping our fingers crossed and cheering the Warragul's 18s boys all the way home. And, of course, the other game, the Caboolture Snakes, return to the Snake Pit at Centenary Lakes on Saturday night. Still 1 point out from Kawana, but can you see the Snakies going down on Saturday night, Mooney?
Mate, no way in the world. I think Kawana, wolf in sheep's clothing, mate. I don't think they've got it. They're not going to be there at the back end of the year. I think the Bribey boys, that was probably one of the best games the Bribey boys have played all year, and even though the score didn't replicate how close it was a lot closer than the scoreboard. But, mate, I don't think Kawana's got it. I don't know how Caloundra beat Bribey, and I can't see Kawana getting close to him, mate. Caboolture's too strong, sorry.
A big good morning to all our Kawana listeners out there this morning. And for anyone, Shane Moon's number... No, just kidding, Shane. We'll save you from all those Kawana Dolphins fans. So
I'm not scared of Kawana. Bring them on. Mate, Caboolture's way too strong. I think they'll be premiers again this year.
There you go. Well, I hope that doesn't cruel. Poor old Chuck Tomlinson's just driven off the road. He's heard Shane Moon's tipped him. It tipped the Snakes unbeatable. So it's not the best endorsement of all time, but we appreciate it all the same. Well, we'll let you go, Mooney. We'll see how you go this week. You're up against Ray, but Caboolture Sports Club in all sorts of trouble.
Kel actually took the sign down. I've won a few, so Kel's taken the sign down. The band shade.
Oh, you're allowed back in? Yeah.
I'm allowed back in as long as I'm spending.
Yep.
I've got to bring the foldies out, and I'm allowed back in the club. He said I am on notice.
Yep. Well, that's fair enough too. We can't, they got them. They're a business. They can't just keep giving this money away. But anyway, we'll see how you go.
Thanks, guys.
Good on you, Mooney.
All right, listeners. Bye.
Jeez, he's a bad judge.
He is, but I don't think he's too far off the money there on the Caboolture Snakes being a red-hot chance for the Premiers.
You said they couldn't win at the start of the year.
I know, and that's probably the silliest thing I've said all year. Yeah, I made up for the Bubba Watson tip as a smoky for the Masters, but no, I definitely, I think I recanted that a couple of weeks ago. They're playing very good football, the Snakes. Now, in the rest of the stuff happening around the region this weekend, Matty, the Caboolture Sports Football Club, the boys down there at Grant Road have a wonderful concept wrapping up this weekend. It was the League of Nations football tournament where they brought together representatives from the multicultural community of Caboolture to a real multicultural tournament. We've got teams there players there from Vietnam, from China, from South America, and I do believe the Pacific Island team are one of the strongest one in there. That all wraps up this Sunday afternoon. First game kicks off at 2 p.m. and there's 8 games or 8 teams that will be playing in a knockout style tournament in the final day, with the grand final around at about 6 p.m. So get on down and watch that. There's some really, really good football being played, and the other big thing that's been a success with this tournament is it's fostered such a sense of community within the multicultural community in Caboolture, and great to get down there and meet some new people and come together through football. And that's of course at Grant Road or Grant Road Sporting Complex on Grant Road at Morayfield. So big day there on Sunday afternoon for the Caboolture Sports Football Club guys.
Yeah, very exciting. Looking forward to that one. What else we got in local sport this week?
The Caboolture Lions in the AFLQ Division 3 Seniors unfortunately play away this weekend, but as a quick update, they actually went down at the weekend and they've slipped 2 points behind Redcliffe. We had, of course, the coach on a couple of weeks ago, and Caboolture and Redcliffe really going toe-to-toe in that second spot, but unfortunately the Lions have let them get away with one there. So they will be very keen to get back up into that second spot, because what that will mean comes finals time is that they avoid the undefeated so far, and of course defending premiers Nambour until the grand final. So the Lions will be very keen to back up there. I believe they play Beenleigh this weekend, but they are back at home next Saturday. And unfortunately no basketball this weekend for the Caboolture Suns. They did have their 7th straight win for those who are following last week in the men, and but they will be back home at Centenary Lakes next Saturday night on the 30th of June. So a big one there for the Suns as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So good luck to the Suns. And we had him on the show last week, Consell from the Kilcoy Race Club. I got out there on a Saturday. The weather was perfect, swampy. There was a great crowd. The beer was cold. The steak burgers were beautiful. The bookies bet over the odds all day. It was a great day out. Paddy's mate attempting to win his 3rd Kilcoy Cup in a row, ran second.
Oh,
So close.
But no cigar.
But yet so far away. Congratulations to young Toowoomba apprentice, originally from Sanford, but now based in Toowoomba, Alana Fancourt, who rode 4 out of the 6 winners there on the day. A fantastic effort, and Alana's only had, I think, 60-odd rides and been riding for only 4 months. So and that's the second time she's rode 4 winners in a day. So a lot of jockeys go their whole career not ride 4 in a day, and she's now rode 4 at Kilcoy, and then earlier, a couple of months ago, she rode 4 at Augathella. So a real talent to watch. But anyway, SportsFeva's over and done. Stand by now for the national news.